this past year, moving back to Hawaii, there were so many times when I was like, what am I doing? Should I go back to sales? Because I've been like the poorest I've ever been this past year. Just trying to figure out what I want to do. And yeah, acting is something I want to do, but I wasn't like, there was so much of me coming back here that I really just needed to get to know myself better. And like before I got the Moana job, I was like, we need to just I need to go back to getting a real job.
Mm-hmm. What is a Moana job?
The live action Moana movie.
Oh, so you're in that?
I'm in it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Oh, the story of this is
yeah,
crazy.
I had. Okay, so that's why you were at that event.
No, I was at that event just because of Peak, which is Crit's
People
thing.
Pacific.
Yeah. So I was at the Moana 2 premiere with another organization that wanted me to interview people.
Okay.
But yeah, that had nothing to do with the live action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know too much about that.
Yeah. No, so
yeah.
Well, by the way, so I met The Rock the night before the premiere on set, and he invited me as like his special guest, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
so cool.
like what is happening?
Yeah.
How did we get to here from where I was? What was it, 6 months ago?
Wow.
Where I was like questioning my whole goal of wanting to be an actor. So I went to the Moana audition as a dancer, and I did not want to go. I thought it was just total pipe dream, and I knew I would look dumb because I'm going up against all these dancers from all the luau's around here, all these professional dancers. I don't dance. I've danced.
You just learned the choreography.
Yeah,
basically.
And I've danced at like weddings, and like little events here and there. But my sister talked me into it, so I go to this thing, and I kind of had some hope, like, okay, well, I have my beard longer. They're gonna need some older people in this village, and I work out, so maybe that will help me. They asked me to come back and read some lines for like the village elders and village fishermen. Came back and read those, and then the casting director says, "Will you read for Chief Tui?" And I'm like,
"Is that the dad?"
That's the dad.
That's the dad. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't look like Chief Tui. So John Tui, who got that role for Chief Tui, is a friend of mine. He's perfect. He's perfect for it. But I think that they were just trying to see if I could act and if I had any experience. And so I read for that, and then they asked me to go home and actually like record a self-tape and submit it with more lines. And then they hit me back and say, okay, you're going to be Tautai Vasa, which is Moana's ancestor. I don't know if you've seen Moana 2.
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I was mid surgeries doing all that, so I wasn't able to go to the theaters.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tautai Vasa is Moana's ancestor, and he has like a lot of screen time in the movie. No lines, but just a ton of face time.
Okay.
And so I ended up being like number 8 on the call sheet. So I was like The Rock, Moana and her family, and then there's me.
Oh, wow.
I know. So I'm like looking at my face up there, like I'm just a few spots down from The Rock. And like a month ago, I was like ready to throw in the towel.
That's crazy. Isn't life so awesome?
Life is crazy. Life is crazy. But just like you said, with starting this podcast, you just start and you stick with it. And you're going to have times where you're like, what are we doing? Is this going to work out?
Yeah.
And I feel so dumb. Like, I can't believe I'm taking a risk on this. I think I should find something else. And then something hits.
Yeah. I never expected to be doing this. It feels weird to me sometimes because, like, people dream to be a doctor. Or people dream to, be a Hollywood star. Or people dream to, play in the biggest professional league ever. Like, I never dreamed to be a podcaster. Like, growing up, this wasn't even a thing, Never dreamed to be recognized or whatever. I just played sports and hung out in Hilo and played video games. Like, now I'm doing this. So, like, I don't feel like an imposter. I just feel like I got lucky. Yeah, I know that I put in a lot of work. Like, I've hustled super hard, and I still do. Like, every day I'm working nonstop. But like the timing, or like all of it, like one thing just led to another. From I don't know how much you follow my story. Like I came back from the Peace Corps. I did this thing called the Race to 50K where I paid off $50,000 student loans in 1 year just by doing odd jobs. So that's why I was on the news. I was documented every single day on social media. People started following me, started a business, started a podcast. Podcast blew up, and like I got all these opportunities, and now I'm here. And it all just happened. Like it was never a plan. Like the plan, the one thing I planned out was race to 50K. Super confident. I told people even before I started, you know, they're like, "What are you gonna do now?" Like, oh, I'm gonna pay off $50,000 student loans without a job, and you know that's what I was saying. That was like the only thing.
How was that? How long did it take you?
11 months during COVID.
Dang.
2020.
Dang.
Yeah, so I'm trying to write a book about it this year. That's my next goal. So stay tuned. Yeah, so that was kind of like the start of my career, I guess, in like media. But it's kind of what people started to know me for as that like student loan guy.
Dude, what a good like igniter to have a crazy big goal like that
and put it out
to
there.
Just hustle. To announce it.
Accountability.
And then to just hustle.
Yeah, I had long hair, facial hair, everything.
Oh man, I love it. Like Forrest Gump. Instead of running,
like running. Yeah. So yeah, like that stuff like that. I just did it. I just had this crazy idea. I did it, and now, and especially coming from the Peace Corps, living through that, and you know, accomplishing what I did over there, gave me the confidence to, you know, do whatever I want. That's why I was so confident. Like, if I could do the Peace Corps, which was the hardest thing I've ever done, which will be the hardest thing I've ever done, I can do anything.
Yeah.
So I had this crazy belief in myself, like, oh yeah, here's my book about the Peace Corps. Right over here.
So far.
So far, yeah.
Dude, I love it. Oh, so far.
So far, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So once they told me, and then the podcast too, and I think I've talked about this before. Like my Hawaiiverse team told me, hey, we should start a podcast. And I was like, I don't want to start a podcast. I love podcasts, but I don't want to start it. So they forced me to do it, and I didn't even want to do it. And now I do it for my career. So it's just so crazy how life works like that.
Okay. You talked about all these things you've done that give you more confidence. I need you to, can you teach me how to be more confident?
It's so funny because you looking at you, you're like, this guy's confident. He got it going, you know?
No, I like there's still that little boy in me that because of the humility thing.
Yeah.
There's still that little part of me that like I battle. And I don't know.
My thing is like I don't really, how do I say this? Like I'm confident in who I am and what I do, but I don't like brag about who I am. I talk about the things that I do. Yeah. Like my podcast is great because I put the work into it, but I'm not really trying to like put myself up. Like I want my podcast to be big for the other people that come on it so that they have a bigger platform to share the story. And I'm confident that I can provide that for them because of all the things that I've done. And I know it's going to be successful because of past experiences. Like I know whatever I touch, it will be successful. And not because like I'm super confident or arrogant. I know because I will work harder than anybody else. And I can be more consistent than anybody. Like from the Race to 50K, every single day for 300 something days, I woke up, planned everything out, posted every single day on social media, posted on YouTube, posted on Facebook, a whole recap every single day. No matter if I finished the job at like 1 a.m, I didn't go home and sleep. First thing I do, go on my laptop, document everything, share it. Like, so doing that, I knew
you have what it takes.
Yeah, and like in sports too, like sometimes you don't have to be the most talented, the fastest person on the team. You just have to work harder than everybody else. So for me, I just feel like I got that like I'll work hard and I won't stop until it's successful kind of thing. Even when I did this, I said I'm gonna have the most successful, biggest podcast in Hawaii. I tweeted it, and I did the same thing with like I'm gonna pay off my student loans, and it happened.
So manifesting,
speaking it to existence, and then work. You know, because one thing is just talking about it, but you know, I think for me, I like putting it out there because it makes me accountable. Like I just told like thousands of people that I'm gonna do this. I better go and do it.
Yeah. So I just heard something recently that reminds me of because I'm always anything that has to relate to this, like I'll listen in because it's still something that I'm working through, right? And so I'm always trying to like gather more information to help me get over that hump of like it's okay. It's okay. Like be confident. How to be confident in a way that I feel okay with internally that doesn't make me feel like, am I now being someone that's not humble? Like am I being am I now behaving in a way that would be unsavory or unacceptable to my father? Like there's still that thing that I battle against, and I've gone through different ways of combating that. Sometimes it's just like fuck them, and it's that kind of mentality of trying to not care. And other times it's like what you said, realizing that you're not going to be afraid of the task if you put in the work. Like all the work that you've put in, that has now given you confidence to like, okay, however big the task is, like I can do it because I know how to work for that. I've done it before. So that's not pride or not the bad kind of pride.
Yeah.
But that's like real.
That's belief in yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that it's confidence from experience. Yeah. So, and now that like I'm saying this out loud and I'm listening to you talk too, I think my biggest strength is that I'm not afraid to fail. And I think I kind of lost that fear gene, that shame gene when I was in the Peace Corps, like living in a village where nobody speaks English and doing all these, making mistakes and people laughing at you and speaking a language that you're just learning and in front of people that, are judging you.
Yeah.
So, that helped me. And then doing this thing like, okay, I said I'm going to pay $50,000 to the loans off, but I could fail. But if I fail, what? Maybe I made $30,000. So like I wasn't. I guess I'm not afraid to fail, and I think that's what gives me confidence. Not that everything I do is going to be a success. Like I do all these mini things that flop, but I'm okay with it because I know like, okay, well, I can just do the next thing. Yeah, and I can pick myself up and keep doing it. Like even now, like I gained as much weight as I could during my surgeries, so that I could have a super cool transformation video.
Oh, nice.
It's really hard now. It's really hard, especially with trying to like get healthy so I can work out. Like I might fail. Like my transformation video might not even be that good.
Nah, you got him.
But I'm confident that I can do it.
Of course.
But I'm not afraid if I do fail. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. And I feel like for you, because you come from a world where success is praised all the time, especially in your family, in your community, basically your whole life, you need almost that validation to like, if I don't succeed, I'm gonna be viewed as a loser or lesser than.
Yeah.
So I think we come from different, I guess, upbringings, like. Where I think Bretman Rock said it the best when he was on the podcast like a couple years ago. He was like, he would walk into Walmart and he'd see himself on the TV and he'd pretend like he's a movie star or whatever, and he would act weird. He would put on makeup. He would do these things, but no one in his family ever put him down. They only like accepted him and encouraged him.
Yeah.
And look at him now. He's so confident to do whatever he wants. And I think that's a big thing, is like the people that surround you encouraging you no matter what.